Let's build a water park for your dog in your yard. This is going to work really well if you have a fenced-in yard for your dog to run around in, but if you don't, make sure your dog either has very good recall or you have them on a long leash so that they can run around and play while still being attached to you. Start off by putting a kiddie pool in the middle of your yard and fill it up with water from your hose. You can let this sit out for a little bit in the sun to warm up, or you can just let your dog play with it as is. Then take your hose and connect it to a sprinkler. You can use a kid-size sprinkler that's going to spray wildly all over, or you can use a sprinkler that you would use to water your lawn to allow your dog to play whatever is going to be best for your dog. Then you're going to want to add in other elements so that your dog can play with those too. So you can do things like adding in toys. You can put ice cubes inside of your water. You can put their toys inside of the water as long as they're going to be water-resistant toys. I highly recommend rubber balls, but there are some really cool waterproof toys that you can get at the store and on Amazon. I'll link some of my favorites down below. And you can use these inside of the kiddie pool for your dog to then dig out. You also want to add in bigger elements for them to run around and have some fun with. I like using empty bottles so that my dogs can play with them without having any risk of them choking or chewing it to pieces, and I make sure I'm monitoring them through the entire process. Now, with that in mind, you also want to add in other unique elements for your dog to be playing with. So what other watery things can you be adding? You can create some semblance of a slip and slide by putting a tarp down and running water down it. And of course, with that, you want to make sure you are there monitoring with your dog. Maybe you're going to go down it holding your dog, but make sure you have options for your dog to play with. There are also really cool arches that drop water down like it's raining that your dog might enjoy running through. Start thinking about things that are going to work in your dog's favor and make sure you're paying attention to what is not going to help your dog. Water balloons are not a good idea for this because your dog can inhale pieces of those balloons and potentially get hurt from that. So you have to make sure you're using things that are dog friendly, dog safe, and that you are monitoring them for the entire time they are playing. Now you also need to make sure that they are not drinking too much of the water from the kiddie pool. Your dog might be really excited about this kiddie pool, and if they're drinking too much, they could get sick. So you want to make sure it's clean and healthy water if they're drinking it, and that they're not drinking too much while you are playing. Make sure you're monitoring how long they are out there. Take them inside for lots of breaks. And when I play with my dogs, we usually set up our playground, let them play for a little bit, take them in, dry them off, and a little while later we'll go back out for another round or two before we dump the water out. You want to make sure, of course, as you're setting this up, there are no holes in the ground that they could trip in. The ground is going to be flat enough for the kiddie pool, and that you are not going to slip as you are running and playing with your dog as well. Creating a water park for your dog in your yard is going to be so much fun for them, especially in the hot summer. So drop your ideas down in the comments so that we can all build each other up and help each other to create these water parks with things that are going to be effective for our different dogs, because your dogs might like things different than my dogs. And the more we can talk in the comments, the better we can do for everyone. And drop your questions down below. I will link some of my favorite things that you can be using inside of your water park for your dog. And we'll see you in our daily episodes helping you navigate the world of being a dog parent so you can level up for your pup and give them the best life possible with the most ease on you. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.